Hello, 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 and good afternoon. Welcome to our Sunday session of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and we are here for another couple of chapter readings. We're doing chapters 8 and 9 today. Chapters 8 and 9. And of what are we reading? We are reading from the book The Greatest Secret, written by Rhonda Byrne. Again, The Greatest Secret, written by Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne, as you probably know by now, if you've been following us for the last maybe 3 or 4 months, then you should know who she is by now. She is the author of not only this book, but she's the author of The Secret, The Power, The Magic, and Hero, which are the 4 last books that we read in the year 2023. So they close us out of the year, the calendar year of 2023. We all know that there is no new year until the spring. Hello, okay? But since we want to follow the calendar, okay? So based upon the calendar year, they were the last books that we read, closing out the calendar year 2023, okay? And then we began this year with this phenomenal book, you all, The Greatest Secret, again written by the wonderful author Rhonda Byrne. If you do not have the book, if you do not have the material, feel free to email, inbox, back channel, whatever, no matter where you're listening from. We're airing via live on the Clubhouse, on Facebook, on YouTube. We actually feature excerpts on Instagram and what is it, X now instead of Twitter. So we're everywhere, you all. So there's no excuse as to why you don't have the reading material, other than the fact that you already have the book, okay? If you already have the book, then disregard. Disregard. Don't worry. Don't listen to what I'm saying, okay? Alrighty, you all. Listen, today is Sunday. You already know we meet on Sundays and Tuesdays. Tuesday nights, because we start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's already late, and I don't want to isolate you from your evening and getting ready for your next day, or winding down from the day that you've had and all of that stuff. So we only do one chapter on Tuesdays, but on Sundays we do 2 chapters because we have the time. Hello, somebody. All right. At any point over the course of this reading, if you have something to say, utilize the chat. Okay. If you feel that something stuck out to you and it was a light bulb moment for you, it was something that you got, revelation from, feel free to share it, because I can guarantee you someone else who may be listening, because again, we have listeners on all platforms, someone may have resonated with that. Someone may feel the same thing, or you sharing your revelation could help open somebody else's mindset up a little further than what it was before. All of us are simply holding each other's hand, walking each other back home. So don't keep your mouth closed. Open your mouth, share, and share alike, okay? On Clubhouse, you have the back channel. Utilize it. I am here to see, although I am reading, yes, but I am periodically looking back and forth at the chats, the comments, and things like that, to give voice to your voice, okay? To give sound to your words, all right? All right, here we go, you all. Get yourselves ready. We finished chapter 7 of on our last session, and we were getting rid of the negative feelings, okay? So the summary of that chapter are the following. Number 1, happiness is your natural state of being. So if you don't feel happiness right now, then you have a negative feeling that is stopping that happiness from being present. The next point, be aware of a negative feeling without resisting it, expressing it, or judging it in any way, and see that it's just a feeling. Next point, the energy behind a negative feeling will naturally release when you allow the feeling to be present. It's an automatic process. So you have to allow yourself to feel the feelings. Although we are 100% human, spirit, we are 100% human as well. We're first 100% spirit, okay? Having a 100% human experience. So if your human experience involves you feeling that feeling in that moment, allow yourself to feel it, because in order for you to be aware of what that feeling is, or even where it derived from, you gotta first let it be. Let it be. Okay, let it be, let it come onto you and let you, so you can dissect it and kind of get to the root of where it stemmed from, because it could be a reaction to something that has nothing to do with what you're reacting to. It could be a trigger of something that happened years ago and you just didn't resolve it then. You didn't allow it then. You suppressed it. All right, moving forward, welcoming, meaning welcoming the feeling. Welcoming is a practice that eradicates negative feelings. Welcoming is the opposite of resisting. Welcoming says to a negative feeling, yes, you are welcome here. Yes, you are welcome here. The next point, in the beginning, it can be helpful if, when you open your attention, you also open your arms out to the sides of your body. You can consciously open your heart too. Okay. We talked about, I was talking about how I walked somebody through the opening of and activating of their heart chakra. And I gave them the camel pose. If you're familiar with yoga, then you know what the camel pose is. You sit on your knees and then you lean back almost into a back bend. And what that does is, not only does it really, really, really stretch your torso, you once you engage your core, once you bend back, you're opening up your heart space, you're opening up your chest. Okay. Oftentimes, far too often, we are spending our days with our heads lowered to our computers, our heads lowered to our phones, our heads lowered to our tablets. And what we don't understand is that we're constricting that heart space from actually being open to receive or to give. We're folding over, being entertained, or following, utilizing technology, because we're not bringing the devices to our eye level at all. We're lowering ourselves to the comfort stance of the devices, which is often closing up our heart spaces, which is preventing us from using it, preventing the energy and the chakra centers, the epicenters to flow properly, is preventing us from receiving and or emitting anything into that epicenter, that heart space. Okay. All right. Next, use the welcoming process for anything that makes you feel bad, any negative thoughts or stories, negative feelings, painful sensations or memories, and limiting beliefs. Next point, when you allow a bad feeling to be present and haven't suppressed it, that feeling will never be as strong in you again. No, it will not. Okay. Next point, every negative feeling is there to direct you back home to who you are. Listen, every negative feeling is there to direct you back home to who you are. They alert you to the fact that you're believing stories that are not true. So you can welcome those feelings and live your life as the magnificent awareness that you truly are. Yes. Next point, a negative emotion only arises when you're ready to be free of it. A negative emotion only arises when you're ready to be free of it. Trust me, if someone is comfortable being in that energy, in that negative energy, they're not going to be aware of it. No, they're comfortable there. So they're not, they don't care. They don't want to be aware of it. They want to be one with this negative feeling. So awareness means that if you are aware of this negative feeling, then you have to do something about it. You're at that moment of awareness, you're charged to do something about it, to change it, to fix it, to alter it. But see, some people don't want to do that. So they're not going to be aware of it. They're just going to sit in it and become it. That's what it is. Next point, when you release your negative feelings around a subject you feel strongly about, you're releasing all the negative, all the energy you have focused on it, and are disempowering the circumstances of surrounding the subject. Yes, you are. Next point, when we welcome a suppressed feeling evoked from a memory, all the hundreds and thousands of thoughts attached to that memory will be released with the feeling. That is so true. No one feeling, it stands alone. It is definitely connected to a train of other feelings. Definitely. Okay. So, which is why we sit in it for so long, because it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things. And that just one thing, that one act, that one situation triggered them all. Okay. Next point, the lightness, the happiness, and the high you feel as you release the feelings attached to the painful memories cannot be described. It cannot. Freedom, peace, ooey. It's serendipitous. It's, you know, just like it said, no word can properly describe the feeling of that level of peace. Okay. And the final summary, takeaway from last chapter, the super practice. Step 1, welcoming anything negative. Step 2, staying as awareness, which is loving awareness in one way to stay as awareness. Loving awareness, and the more aware you are, awareness requires you to be in the present. For you to be aware, that means you are right here, right now, in the nowness of time. That means that you are not in the past, because you can't be aware now of something that happened then. No, no, no. Or it's not in the future. You can't be aware now of something that is about to happen. It hasn't happened. So how are you aware of it? You know what I mean? So the only awareness that you can be is the awareness of the now, right now, which calls you to this moment right here, which is essentially the only time and moment that we have. There's always and will always be right now. Okay? So in order for you to be aware, you have to be right here present to be aware of the things of the present, right? Okay. Next chapter that we are about to begin, chapter 8. It is entitled No More Suffering. No more suffering. Here's the bottom line. Suffering is optional. That is a quote by Byron Katie. The bottom line is suffering is optional. Okay? You are not meant to suffer. And when you're living as your true self, awareness, you will never suffer. It can be hard to imagine a life without suffering, but most assuredly, it can be your life right now. Anthony DeMello states, there's a pain in the physical, but suffering is of the mind. Jan Fraser states, your higher self does not suffer. Your familiar self can hardly figure out how not to suffer. My goodness. Suffering is caused by believing negative thoughts. So suffering is self-imposed. Byron Katie states, I discovered that when I believed my thoughts, I suffered, but that when I didn't believe them, I didn't suffer. And that this is true for every human being. Freedom is as simple as that. Rupert Spira states, whenever you are suffering, your suffering is contained in a single thought. I don't like this. In other words, we allow a single flimsy, insubstantial thought to spoil our happiness. Come on, man. Our mind tends to respond to the circumstances of life with no, 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 while awareness always responds with yes, yes, yes to everything. Awareness even says yes to no. Come on. Awareness even says yes to no. Come on here. No is a complete sentence. And you can be happy in your no. Hello, somebody. All right. Saying no holds what you don't want to you. Saying yes to what you don't want releases your resistance. Allowing what you don't want to change. It's counterintuitive, but it's how it works. When you say no, I don't want this, you're resisting. And as you come to understand, whatever you resist, persist. Eckhart Tolle stated, if you abide in this state of acceptance, you create no more negativity, no more suffering, no more unhappiness. You then live in a state of non-resistance, a state of grace and lightness, free of struggle. Byron Katie states, I am a lover of what is, not because I'm a spiritual person, but because it hurts when I argue with reality. Come on here, going against the grain. I talk about this. I use this analogy a lot, that, when people are swimming and all of a sudden they lose control, it's them fighting the water. It's them resisting the water that causes them to drown. The moment they become light as a feather, the moment they go and allow the water, okay? The moment they accept the water, allow the water, become light as a feather, get out of their negative mind, get out of their worry and stress, and release those negative things, they become a floater. They start to float and allow the water to carry them. That same water that caused someone else to die could cause someone else to live. It's all in how we receive the water. Okay. All right. Jan Fraser stated, if you were to altogether let go of resistance this moment, never to start it up again, by that single gesture, you'd liberate yourself from an enormous burden of suffering. Man, If we don't resist what has happened, there's no conflict, and the energy of the situation passes. Without our resistance to something, it can't stay in our life. On the other hand, if we resist what's happening, we'll hold the situation to us and we'll continue to suffer. The wonderful teacher, Sailor Bob Adamson, says to just allow experiences to come and go without judging them. Correct. Everything, because every experience comes with a lesson that we're to walk away from if we allow it to come. Peter Lowry states, it is only the grasping, the hanging on, or the resisting and pushing away that creates the bind of psychological suffering. Man. Jen Fraser states, most people go to their graves believing suffering is unavoidable. How sad that is. If you turn from the possibility that it could be otherwise, you will suffer needlessly until the day you die. But here's something. The end of suffering would be the least of the benefits if you became free. The real miracle is not the profound undoing of anguish, but the riches that would flood the freed up space. And y'all. Next section, an instant end to suffering. An instant end to suffering. What I'm about to share with you may not be the easiest thing to grasp, but if you get it, it will take you out of suffering immediately. Our mind makes it feel like we are the one who is suffering. And of course, if we unquestioningly believe our mind, our suffering is immense. But the truth is that you are the one that is aware of the suffering rather than the one suffering. The one who is suffering is the idea you have of yourself that you've believed, but is not who you really are. Hale Dwoskin states, the end of suffering happens when you recognize that there is no one to suffer. The end of suffering happens when you recognize that there is no one to suffer. My teacher would say to ask yourself this question: am I the one suffering, or am I the one that is aware of the suffering? If we can stop believing the mind's suggestion that we're the one suffering, the suffering will end immediately. Byron Katie stated, once the nature of the mind is understood, suffering can't exist. Anthony DeMello states, awareness opens the door, dissolves all the beliefs and opinions and ideas that are in the way of and covering up your natural state of happiness. Dan Fraser states, it's no wonder that when the machinery of suffering has fallen apart and the mind has grown quiet, the feeling is that you've come home. Home has found you, which is often the impression, since you hadn't necessarily been trying to find your way there, not consciously anyway. Or maybe you had been, but now you see you've been looking in the wrong places. There's one belief in particular that's the root cause of all the suffering in the world. It's the belief that we're a separate person. With thought, your mind convinces you that you are just a person and that you are vulnerable to an entire world of things that could go wrong. If you believe the mind's story of separateness, you will be completely under the control of your mind. Your mind will send a constant feed of fearful thoughts that you are vulnerable, bad things can happen to you, and that you and your life are limited. Sadly, this will become your life if you believe it to be true. But the truth is the very opposite of this. We are not separate. There is the appearance that we're a separate person, and we're having the experience of being a separate person. But for a magnificent life filled with lasting happiness, stay aware of the truth that you are infinite, eternal, consciousness awareness, and that there is only one of us. That is so true. We are one of one. One of one. We are all of the same one. That is it. It's just that I am living this iteration over here. You're living your iteration wherever you are, but we are all one of one. There is no disconnect. We're all interconnected. Okay. The next section, the end of problems. The end of problems. We believe we have a problem when something has gone differently from what we expected it to, or when we feel something has gone wrong. Our mind's immediate response to a problem is, I don't want this yet. Anthony DeMello Problems exist only in the human mind. Only in the human mind. Only in the human mind. I do a guided meditation when I take my clients through a meditation where they have to disconnect. They have to disconnect from their mind and connect the cables to their heart. Okay, so we do a meditation where they are in their mental space, in their spiritual, consciousness and awareness. They're going deep within self to unplug from the mind and plug to the heart. I talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe I elaborated on a quote that Sensei 9 stated, and where he says, you have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. You got to lose your mind in order to find your heart. Okay. Anthony DeMello, to reiterate, states problems exist only in the human mind. Okay. Problems are not real. Let me say that again. Problems are not real. Problems are only imagined. There are no problems. It's impossible. What you are is free of problems. Problems are manufactured, every single one of them. Hal Dwoskin states, all problems are based on memory. In this moment, there are no problems. Come on. All problems are based on memory, which is past, which we're not there anymore. In this moment, in the nowness, there are no problems. Okay. Anthony DeMello states, if there were no human mind, there would be no problems. None at all. All problems exist in the human mind. All problems are created by the mind. Have you ever went to go do something? Say, for instance, you're going to an amusement park and you've never rode a roller coaster before, and everybody's so excited and they're trying to get you, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. Have you ever imagined this ride to be the worst ride of your life, to be the worst thing that you would ever do? Have you ever imagined yourself in this roller coaster, slipping out of the harness, falling to your death, all of this stuff, just so crazy? Or imagine yourself, say, for instance, with myself, I have piercings and tattoos and things like that. So have you ever imagined yourself going to get a tattoo, and in your mind, you've created this thing to be the worst, most horrifying, most terrible, most gory, most crazy situation, right? Only to experience it and say, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. You know why? Because your mind created the problem. All problems are created by the mind. The truth is that problems are just another story created by the thoughts of your mind. It's the mind interpreting life by telling a story about something that's happened, past, and turning it into a problem. To experience a problem-free life, instead of believing your mind, use the power of your awareness to become aware of your mind. Okay? Know the difference. When you're living more and more as awareness, then you will see clearly that problems are imagined limitations. How can the infinite awareness that you are have a single problem? How? How, Sway, in my Kanye voice? How, Sway? Okay. Lester Levinson states, it's as if you put your hand in a fire and say, ouch, it's hot. My hand is burning. Boy, do I have a problem. And then you put your hand back in the fire, and so on, until one day you see that you are doing it and you stop. If you have a problem, you're putting your hand into a problem and yelling, it hurts, and acting as though you're not putting your hand in it. You act as though you are not doing it, but you are. All problems come from the ego. You're free when you don't give validity to any problems. The difficulty is that when you believe you have a problem, you will most definitely experience having a problem. But if you can be aware that it's really the mind and its thoughts telling another negative story, you allow any suppressed problem to dissolve and disappear because your belief is not holding it to you or the world anymore. Lester Levinson states, anyone who says, I have a problem, has it in his mind. That is the only place where it is, because you can't see or conceive of anything anywhere else but in your mind. Whatever you look at, whatever you hear, whatever you sense is in and through your mind. That is where everything is. That is where everything is. I'm going to tell you something very powerful. There is not a problem anywhere at all. There's only a lack of love. Come on here. Oh, see, we're going deep now. When you don't resist anything, when you accept everything just the way that it is, this is love. We talked about yesterday. We did a random impromptu morning randomness live talking about what is love. What is love? Because it's surely not what we are projecting it to be. And the projections that I've seen and that we all experience and that I have even done myself came from a place of ignorance. It came also from a place of lack of experience. That right there showed that we were not acquainted with, we were not conscious of what love is. We had never experienced it. And the way that society is going right now, it's clear that we are not aware of what love is. Okay, what real love is, what infinite love is, what the I am says love is. Okay, so that's what she's saying. She said here, when you don't resist anything, when you accept everything just the way that it is, this is love. This is love. All things, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, they all work together for our good. Life doesn't happen to us. Life happens for us. For us, okay? It's not punishment, it's positioning, it's placing, it's movement, it's purpose, it's love. Where love exists, no problem can exist. It's the reason why no problem can touch who you really are. Who you really are, because you are pure love. It is a love that is so pure our minds can't conceive it. It is completely welcoming, accepting, all allowing, and totally unattached. Totally unattached. It's the kind of love demonstrated by the remarkable enlightened beings like Buddha, Jesus Christ, Lao Tzu, Krishna, and so many more. And this pure love that you are has no problems ever, ever. But from the perspective of a limited person, problems do seem real. Our mind has the opposite reaction to infinite awareness, and it resists and denies the way something is rather than accepting and allowing it. Lao Tzu states, life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Alyani Laurie states, when there is no emotional investment in trying to force things to be the way we want them, then they are free to move and resolve themselves. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. From using the principles of The Secret, I found that when I'm happy, there are barely any problems in my life. That's because from the place of happiness, problems either don't appear or they're so small that they don't have the ability to disturb my happiness. When I'm happy, problems look like anthills compared to when I've been in despair and the smallest problem appears to be mountainous. So doesn't it make sense that from the ultimate level of happiness, where we know who we are, there are zero problems? Lester Levinson states there's no problem there's no end to problems in the world. If you try to find the end, you go on and on forever and ever solving problems in the world, and you will always find more and more. What's the term? You're going to find what you're looking for, okay? As long as you are conscious of problems, they exist. Come on. Only when you discover the real you will you discover an end to the problems. We have to really, really, really become familiar with our power and who we truly are. This is why I do what I do when I do it with my clients, with all of the people who, has been ordained or destined to come across my path. My gift is to bring the awareness of your pure self, of your higher self, of what it is that you are. And the moment you remember, okay, because you have always been who you truly are, you were just not aware of that, okay? But the moment you remember, recall who you are, and you align with who you are, everything around you, you see in a whole different manner, a whole different manner. But the first is knowing who you are. The first is knowing who you are. Okay. Next section, how to be free of problems forever. You can be free from everything. Do you want to give a problem your attention by changing it, fixing it, or trying to figure it out? Or do you want to be free of it? When I shared with my teacher what I thought was a big problem, she said the following words to me: you cannot have clearer words than these. And they are: stop focusing into the problem. Stop wanting it to be more or less. Stop wanting it to go. Stop wanting to change it. Stop wanting to figure it out. Stop wanting to control it. It will naturally collapse when you decide to be awareness. Everything that is not love collapses in the face of love. Everything that is not love collapses in the face of love. Everything that is not real collapses in the face of awareness. This is why it's imperative for us to know what love is, so that we can recognize what it is not, so that that thing that it's not can collapse in the face of what it is. Okay. As The Secret explained, when we give our attention to something, we energize it. So when we give our attention to a problem, we energize the problem and it gets bigger. Trying to fix a problem, trying to solve it, control it, or eradicate it means we are giving our attention to the problem. When we shift our attention away from the problem disappears because all the energy has been removed from it. It has to collapse. It's like taking the oxygen out of a fire. The fire will go out. Lester Levinson states, now, trying to get rid of a problem is holding on to it. Anything we try to get rid of, we're holding in our mind and therefore sustaining that problem. So the only way to correct a problem is to let it go of it. See not the problem. See only what you want. That's it. It just makes sense, y'all. It makes sense. What are we spending time on? What we don't want, who we don't like, who we don't want to be, what we don't want. What are we doing to ourselves? When we can take that same energy and focus on what we want, what we desire, who we want to be around, what we are growing to be, what we like, what we, that's I don't understand that. And I'm saying that including myself, because honey, I did that too. And it's like, what captive am I making and creating myself to be? And once you've taken your attention off of any problem, then you can use your mind to create what you want by focusing your mind and your thoughts on what you want. Michael Bernard Beckwith, I love him. He stated, energy flows where attention goes. We give our attention to what we don't want, expecting that will change it, when the opposite is true. We have to remove our attention to allow a problem to dissolve. I heard somebody say once that problems are like an unwelcome guest. If you don't give a guest any attention, they will leave. Use the power of awareness, of your awareness, to be aware of your mind's negative thoughts and stories, thereby dissolving them, and you will be free of all problems and suffering. It's simply another example of the joy and bliss that is yours when you stay as the awareness that you are. Jen Fraser states, this is a gently unfolding miracle. Be patient. All your life, you've been doing it the other way, believing yourself to be at the mercy of life. Don't expect the whole thing to undo itself all at once. That is so true. Okay. Chapter 9, dissolving limiting beliefs. Dissolving limiting beliefs. All beliefs are imagined limitations. All beliefs are imagined limitations. What is a belief? A belief is just a thought that we think over and over again until we believe it. All beliefs are limited because they come from the mind. Let's look at an example. The belief that says something is too good to be true. We first hear it said by others, then we begin having the thought ourselves. After a while, we believe it's true, and then we start to see evidence of it in the world. The very moment we believe it is true, it becomes a belief stored in our subconscious mind. And from that moment on, that belief operates as an automatic program in our subconscious. And it must project itself in the world and continue to prove itself to be true in our life. Byron Katie states, a thought is harmless until we believe it. Come on here. My grandmother used to say, it's not about what they call you that matters, it's what you answer to. Anything can call you anything, but what are you responding to? What are you answering to? Because that right there says you believe it. Okay. Same thing with a thought. A thought is harmless until we believe it. Muji states, it is not what the ego says, it is how much it is believed. Beliefs also throw up other thoughts based on the belief, and the thoughts play like recordings. With the belief something is too good to be true, the subconscious mind will play thoughts like, when I feel this happy, I feel like something bad is going to happen. Make the most of it. This isn't going to last. See? Something bad always follows something good. I'm feeling nervous because good things don't usually happen to me. If something feels too good to be true, you can bet it is. These thoughts are probably familiar to you, which proves they are just recordings from the mind and they're not unique to you. A teacher said, imagine if you answered the phone and there was a recording on the other end saying, this is a recorded message. Transfer all your money into this bank account right now so we can keep it safe. Would you do it? Would you believe the recording? No, of course you wouldn't believe it. But then why believe the recordings of the mind? Next section, your beliefs cause your experience. Your beliefs cause your experience. David Bingham states, we project our thoughts and beliefs and they return to us as our experience. Come on, we project our thoughts and beliefs and they return to us as our experience. That is the law of attraction. We emit thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and things like that. And a call to response, the response is the experience of what we just emitted out. Okay. You must experience whatever you believe. So it matters a great deal what your beliefs are. Beliefs have what could be described as atomic power because they will continually project themselves into your life and make themselves true. It doesn't matter that they're false. If you planted a belief in the subconscious, it will bear fruit. Come on here. Whatever seed you plant will bear fruit. Now, if you want to consume that fruit, that's up to you. For example, you can't have the belief that the only way you can receive more money is through working harder and longer hours. You then receive cash windfalls from multiple places you never expected. Your belief prevents money coming in from other sources. Come on. This is how much we limit ourselves through our beliefs. When you have a belief about a person, circumstance, or a situation, you must experience it. Thoughts have no power of their own without the energy of your belief behind them. Anthony DeMello states, there is only one cause of unhappiness, the false beliefs you have in your head, beliefs so widespread, so commonly held, that it never occurs to you to question them. Peter Zubin states, unhappiness is caused only by false beliefs about what life really is. That's it. We can also become very attached to our beliefs, even when they cause us real stress and suffering and imprison us in misery. Our beliefs can keep us poor, make us sick, fill us with fear, and damage or destroy our relationships. They are really nothing to treasure or hold on to. Whatever circumstances are appearing in our life currently are being generated by your belief system in your subconscious mind. David Bingham states, by changing the beliefs we are holding, we can amend the experiences we are having. That's good. Rupert Spira states, many of our ideas and beliefs about ourselves and the world are so deeply ingrained that we are unaware that they are beliefs to take them without questioning for the absolute truth. So true. Now, from the late Dr. David R. Hawkins, he states, it is often beneficial to look at some commonly held beliefs and let go of them right in the beginning, such as, we only deserve things through hard work, struggle, sacrifice, and effort. Or, suffering is beneficial and good for us. Or, we don't get anything for nothing. Or, things that are very simple aren't worth much. The great sages urge us to question everything. Through questioning, we can discover our limiting beliefs that are covering up the truth about us and the truth behind the world. Question everything. Byron Katie states, nothing you believe is true. Knowing this is freedom. Come on here. That's good. Nothing you believe is true. Knowing this is freedom. We have stockpiled beliefs in our subconscious since we were a small child and were able to comprehend something of what was being communicated to us by adults. Beliefs are formed when we accept a particular thought as true, whether that's something we've read or heard on television or when we accept an idea that others have told us. One way or another, all of our beliefs have come from others. Come on here, whether from parents, family, friends, teachers, or society, or religion. I added that because, it needed to be added. In the moment we believe what someone else tells us, bingo, into the subconscious goes the belief, where it will play out in our life. For example, if a person believes, I have trouble losing weight and keeping it off, that belief will prevent weight from staying off no matter what the person does. Over time, beliefs become more entrenched in the subconscious as we add more and more thoughts to them, like, it must be my metabolism that makes it so difficult for me to lose weight. Or, I've tried heaps of diets, but I can't seem to keep the weight off. Or, it takes me ages to lose weight, and in no time, I put it back on. Or, being overweight runs in my family. You believe those things. Lester Levinson states, the subconscious mind is running us, making us the victim of habit. The great news is that because beliefs are simply made up of flimsy thoughts, they can be eradicated quite easily once you become aware of them. While beliefs remain stored in the subconscious mind, they will automatically continue to play out in your life. But the moment you become truly aware of one of your beliefs, the belief is dismantled. Just like when all negative feelings are released, when all subconscious beliefs become conscious, the result is that you permanently remain as awareness. Actually, when you eradicate one, you simultaneously eradicate the other. I take a double-pronged approach and release both beliefs and negative feelings whenever they appear. Exposing your limiting beliefs takes you rapidly to lasting happiness and complete freedom. Complete freedom. In the process, your worldly life dramatically improves in each and every area because it's no longer limited by beliefs. If there's something you think you can't be, do, or have, that's a limiting belief. Imagine your life without any limitations. Next section, dissolving beliefs. Dissolving beliefs. You dissolve beliefs with awareness by becoming consciously aware of them. The moment you are aware a belief is not true, most of it collapses and dissolves. If you continue to bring the belief up into your thinking mind, reminding yourself that it's just a belief and it isn't true, under that scrutiny, the rest of the belief will totally dissolve. This is the infinite power of awareness. It can be a bit tricky to spot your beliefs for the very reason that you believe they're truth rather than a belief. However, once you become aware of a belief, that belief, the dissolution begins, and what's left of the belief will collapse through the continued awareness of it. You can even reach a point where you can't remember what you used to believe because a belief has truly vanished. Beliefs and memories both consist of thought, and they're stored in our subconscious mind. So if a belief is erased, all the thoughts attached to the belief are also gone, including the thought making up the memory. Mm. Francis Lucille states, surrender everything you believe. You have to, sooner or later. You cannot take your belief systems with you when you pass away. So why not surrender them now? Surrender your beliefs from moment to moment. Yes, 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 yes. Discover the joy of living without attachment to any belief system. The attachment to beliefs, such as happiness requires effort or it is necessary to suffer in order to be happy, is very deep. Mm. Surrender your attachment to the belief system. Man, every belief can become aware of and consequently dissolve will propel your life to heights of freedom, abundance, lightness, and joy you never could have imagined. Take those beliefs out one by one and set yourself free. Awareness doesn't have any beliefs because awareness knows everything. Okay, it's aware. Francis Lucille states, in fact, belief systems are nothing. They are quite easy to let go of. They are just paper tigers. It is better to let them go right now and live happily forever after. Mm. You can give the subconscious mind an instruction to highlight your beliefs for you so you can become more aware of them. Instruct your subconscious with words like, show me my beliefs clearly one by one so I become aware of each and every one of them. Then stay very aware so you notice them when they appear. Be very aware when you hear yourself say, I believe or I don't believe, because immediately following these words is a belief. Okay? Be very aware when you hear yourself say, I think or I don't think, because most likely what will follow will also reveal a belief. Ooh, that is so true. Wow. When you see that a belief is really just a mental story that you've bought into, the belief not only dissolves, but also takes with it the thousands upon thousands of thoughts attached to that belief, all of which have been buried in the subconscious mind. Beliefs are not only made of thought, they constantly draw to themselves new thoughts that support the belief, and they will continue accumulating thoughts for as long as we retain them. A belief can be held for years, decades, or a lifetime, which explains why, with thousands of thoughts attached to one belief, so many of us feel heavy and burdened. Come on here. Good God, man. Oh, my goodness. This is the torment that we put ourselves through every single day. Yikes, man. And we carry this stuff around every single day. We don't realize that it's our beliefs that make our life so heavy and make us feel older. And that it's our beliefs that hold us back from having the life we deserve. Just imagine, for example, how many thoughts you would have attached to the belief that you are just a person separate from everyone else. Now imagine the enormous sense of relief, lightness, and spaciousness you would feel when a belief that size dissolves. You will know the feeling for yourself when you experience it. Rumi states, be a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Come on, man. Be a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Let them drop. Not pull them off yourself. Not shake and you cause them to drop. No. No. Be a tree. And in the season that the leaves are supposed to drop off, they'll drop on their own. They don't need your help. Let them drop. Next section, reactions, beliefs in disguise. Reactions, beliefs in disguise. Peter Zubin states, reactions are unconscious beliefs. Another way to expose beliefs is through becoming aware of your reactions. Ooh, y'all. My God, my God, my God. Hello, Essence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My God, y'all. Ooh, listen, I'm taking this in. I told you all, I don't read ahead of you all, right? So I'm getting it as you're getting it. So we all getting it together. Let me start. Oh, my goodness. Okay, another way to expose beliefs is through becoming aware of your reactions. When we react to something, it's because we have a belief buried within us that causes the reaction. Reactions are actually beliefs in disguise. For example, we receive our electricity bill, which is much larger than we expected. We react negatively. The belief that caused the reaction is a belief in a lack of money. But like all beliefs, it's only true in our life because we believe it. Come on here. It's only true because we believed it. All you have to do when you notice yourself reacting is become aware of the reaction. When you're aware of the reaction, you take the power out of it because your awareness is the power that dissolves every bit of the negativity and disharmony. When you react, you're identifying. When you react, you're identifying. When you react, you're making something personal. Instead, just notice the reaction. Remember that it's the mind that reacts to things, not you. It's the mind that identifies with things and makes things personal because it's coming from the perspective of a person. When you become aware of your reactions by just noticing them in the moment, you not only take the power out of your mind to react, you also expose the belief that is hiding underneath the reaction. And once exposed, it will dissolve. Muji states, if there's a behavior, tendency, or habit you wish to be free of, notice there is already a natural awareness of it. If you really see this, if you observe it with detachment, you will instantly feel out of its grip and free from further identifying with it. This is very significant. Awareness dissolves everything that is not true. As we believe, as each belief dissolves one by one, you will feel the difference in your body. You will feel lighter. You will feel the difference in your mental health. You will feel happier. You will see the difference in your life. Your life will become truly effortless and miraculous. Whatever you need, whatever you want, will seem to just fall into your hands. I would like to share another part of the amazing Lester Levinson story. If you recall, Lester became enlightened in 3 months and at the same time cured his body of multiple diseases. Before this, Lester had developed severe heart problems at just 40 years old and was given a death sentence by his doctors. The doctor said that Lester could die any day, and there was nothing they could do. Lester went home and for the first few days was terrified of dying. Then he decided that if he was going to die, he would at least reflect back on his life and work out why he had rarely been happy. This began the process whereby Lester removed every belief and suppressed negative emotion in his body in just 3 months. With all of the negative gone from his body, the heart condition spontaneously resolved itself, and Lester lived for another 40 years in perfect health and continuous joy. More importantly, with the removal of all of his beliefs and suppressed emotions, Lester discovered who he really was. And now you know how he did it. My goodness, man. Whoo! 3 months. They gave him days to live, you all. Days, okay? My goodness, this is good. This is good. Oh, these two chapters here, 8 and 9, gave us our butts, okay? Ripped us another one, all right? Here are the summary takeaways of chapter 8. You are not meant to suffer. And when you're living as your true self, awareness, you will never suffer. Next point, suffering is caused by believing negative thoughts. So suffering is self-imposed. Next point, if we resist what's happening, we'll hold the situation to us and we'll continue to suffer. Yep. Next point, ask yourself this question. Am I the one suffering, or am I the one that is aware of the suffering? The truth is that you are the one that is aware of the suffering rather than the one suffering. Next point, there is one belief in particular that's the root cause of all the suffering in the world. It's the belief that we're a separate person. Next point, problems exist only in the human mind. Problems are not real. Problems are only imagined. Next point, to experience a problem free life, instead of believing your mind, use the power of your awareness to become aware of your mind. Next point, when we give our attention to a problem, we energize the problem and it gets bigger. When we shift our attention away from the problem disappears because all the energy has been removed from it. Next point, once you have taken your attention off any problem, then you can use your mind to create what you want by focusing your mind and your thoughts on what you want. Next point, last point of chapter 8. Use the power of your awareness to be aware of your mind's negative thoughts and stories, thereby dissolving them, and you will be free of all of your problems and sufferings. It is, you all, that's why I did the random live yesterday where I asked the question, what is love? I am sincerely interested in what we define love and how we define love. Because the things that we do to self, right? It is proof that there is no awareness of the power of love around. It is proof that we have no real idea of what the actual definition of love is. And I'm saying we as a whole, okay? We as a whole. Individually, yes, some may know what love is. Some may have identified with what love and align with love, right? But as a whole, because we are one of one, there is no separateness. We are one of one. We are one of one. I'm just over here living this version of one. You are living your version of one wherever you are. Somebody else is living their version of one. But all of us are separate or different iterations of the same I, the same one, the same source. We are. And so as a whole, I reference the fact that I truly, 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 truly do not believe, or we don't have the true definition of what love is. Because if we did, I would say we have the definition of lust. We have the definition of, infatuation. We have the definition of obsession. We have the definition of, whatever this life says that we should be and have or do or go, you know what I'm saying? All of the stuff. We have the definition of what society has defined things to be, what society has put value on. We have all of those definitions. We have all of those, beliefs, but we don't have the knowing, not a belief. We don't have the knowing of what love is. Therefore, we don't have the knowing of who we are. Knowing, aka awareness, aka consciousness, aka enlightenment. We are not aware of who we are. Thus, we're not aware of what love is. Thus, we believe the beliefs that our thoughts create, or that others have, made us believe or told us, and then we believed it. The moment we reconnect with self, is the moment that we reconnect with love. And the moment we stop harming self, right? Our human self, because our spiritual self, our higher self, is nowhere near attached to anything that this place would call a problem. Not at all. Nowhere near. It's our human self that we so heavily rely on for whatever the reason is. Chapter 9, takeaways. Here's the summary. Point 1, a belief is just a thought that we think over and over again until we believe it. All beliefs are limited because they come from the mind. Next point. A belief is stored in our subconscious mind where it operates as an automatic program. Next point. Beliefs will continually project themselves into your life and make themselves true. Yes, they will, if you allow it. If you're unaware of it, if your awareness is unaware, okay? Next point. Whatever circumstances are appearing in your life currently are being generated by your own belief system. Yes, they are. Next point. Be very aware when you hear yourself say, I believe, or I don't believe, because immediately following these words is a belief. Next point. Be very aware when you hear yourself say, I think, or I don't think, because most likely what will follow, that will also reveal a belief. Next point. Question everything. Through questioning, we can discover limiting beliefs we're holding on to that are obscuring the truth. Come on here. Next point. While beliefs remain stored in the subconscious mind, they will automatically continue to play out in your life. But the moment you become truly aware of a belief you hold, the belief is dismantled. Because oftentimes, you all, we are operating and walking around here like robots on autopilot and have no awareness that we are operating in this state. That's why we're in the state, because once awareness arrives, then we can see, wait, whoa. What am I doing? What am I doing? And then then the choice can be made. You can redirect yourself, reroute. But when we see the operation of us and others connected to problems and circumstances and situations, which our higher self, our awareness, our consciousness has it has no type of nothing connected to it. But when we see ourselves, reacting and responding and being disheveled and displaced and all of this stuff due to what this place calls problems, that right there is a clear indicator that your awareness is not activated. And you believe that you are the person that's experiencing this stuff. You believe that you're that person, not the awareness, not the higher self. You believe that you're the person going through the problems, and you believe that the problems are real. Right. Next point. Every belief you became aware of and consequently dissolve will propel your life to heights of freedom, abundance, lightness, and joy. Next point. You can give the subconscious mind an instruction to highlight your beliefs for you so you can become more aware of them. Say this: show me my beliefs clearly one by one so I can become aware of each and every one of them. Yes. Next point. When a belief dissolves, it also takes with it the thousands upon thousands of thoughts attached to that belief, which have also been buried in the subconscious mind. Next point. We don't realize that it's our beliefs that make our life so heavy and make us feel older, and that it's our beliefs that hold us back from having the life we deserve. Next point. To expose your beliefs, be aware of your reactions. Reactions are actually beliefs in disguise. Last point of chapter 9. All you have to do when you notice yourself reacting is become aware of the reaction. When you're aware of the reaction, you take the power out of it. Come on here, man. Listen, you all. That was amazing. The next chapter that we're going to go over on Tuesday is entitled, this is chapter 10, entitled Everlasting Happiness. Everlasting happiness. The stuff that we went over today, this stuff can be obtained immediately, right now, today. Okay? This is good, you all, man. Listen, we can't hear things like this and not, when we hear things like this, it causes us to be aware. It awakens our awareness. because there's no way that you can hear things like this, okay, and then leave out of hearing things like this and continue to do the things that you were doing. No way, because you're now aware of the things that you're doing. So anything that you do after your awareness is aware of it, that's what you call a choice. You are choosing to act unaware of the awareness of the things that you're now aware of. Okay? Come on, man. It's a choice at that point. So you're choosing to sit in the problems. You're choosing to create the disaster that you're calling life. You're choosing to believe whatever story your thoughts are telling you. You're choosing to believe what the doctor said. You're choosing to believe what your spouse or your ex said, or whatever society or your job said, or whatever, whatever government said. You're choosing this. The moment you become aware, right, and you do nothing, or you continue to do the same thing, you are accepting and granting permission to whatever that belief is, and to come and wreak havoc and do whatever it wants to do in your life. So at that point of granting of the permission, don't you fix your mouth to say nothing about how tired and sad and upset and I can't believe. Don't you say a word. Nope. You have given up your right to complain about anything that is going on in your life after you have granted permission for it to persist in your life after you've become aware of it. Don't you say a word. You sit there and stand in that, take it like a G. Take it say it with your chest, okay? No more complaining. You granted permission for this, especially when you became aware of it and still remained in it. Not me. Oh no. Oh no. The moment awareness comes, everything else, everything that's anti who I am, everything that's anti-love, anti where I come from and what I am made of, oh, you gotta go. The moment I realize with my real eyes that something foreign is in my being, oh no, baby, you gotta go. You must leave. You have no choice. It's not even up for debate. And the moment it releases and dissipates, freedom is yours. Freedom, happiness, abundance, prosperity, health, wholeness, love, infinite all things, infinite prosperity, infinite peace, infinite awareness, infinite love, infinite health, infinite, because you are infinite. Come on. I choose infinite, please, for 100. Alex, thank you. Okay, please. Come on. I love this. You all, if you're not getting it, I'm telling you, I don't know. Your wood is wet, baby. I don't know where you're at and what you're doing, but I'm getting mine. And I mean, if you don't want yours, I'll take your cornbread too. All right. Amen. All righty, you all. Listen, that is it for today on Sunday. Like I said, if you do not have your reading material and you want The Greatest Secret written by Rhonda Byrne in the ebook form, inbox, back channel, send me an email and request your copy. It's only a $5 seed to the organization Divine Femininity United. Okay, you can email me at info@biancamissblee.com, or you can visit my website and you can go there. For those on Clubhouse, it's right above my head. Tap the link; it'll send you straight to the website. Those who are watching via Facebook or YouTube, it's on the screen and it's also in the caption. So go there and you can visit the site and things like that. Do what you got to do. Follow me on social media, you all. Clubhouse, Divine Femininity United. Also, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Instagram, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Facebook, YouTube, same, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Go there. Okay, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm about, what I have going on. You'll be able to tap into even things of my nonprofit organization. You can become a donor, a sponsor, all of those good things, because we're doing good things in this world. Absolutely. Okay, limitless, infinite things. You better believe it. All right. All righty, you all. Listen, we're back here Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, Divine Femininity United. I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Peace.